Hi, I'm Brooke with MeetRx. I'm a coach here at MeetRx. And today I'm going to speak to another coach, Landon. Um, and he's going to share his great carnivore success with us. Hi, Landon. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good. Thanks for taking the time and sharing with us your carnivore journey.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So, how'd you get started with this meaty diet?
So I got started. I was very overweight. So I knew I had to do something with my diet for my kids' sake, not just myself. Uh, so so that's how I started getting on a healthier path in my life. Um, I was I'm 5'7". I was 235 pounds, over 35% body fat, and um, pretty much a walking heart attack waiting to happen. So so I just started to make some healthier food choices, and at that time they weren't as healthy as I thought they were. Really, um, I did uh, I did a high protein and lower fat. I didn't know much. I just knew that a lot of people that I knew did keto. So I went down the keto path for quite some time.
How long?
I did keto for about 6 months. As I was doing keto, though, I kept restricting my carbs back further and further, just because I felt that, um, and I didn't know that they weren't needed at the time. I didn't know that carnivore existed. I just kept cutting them back because I felt better the further I cut them back, because a lot of the carbs I would have would be a lot of fiber anyways, or a lot of sugar alcohols.
Right.
So I felt I needed to cut those out just to try to get over some plateau humps.
Were you like a meat-based, was it a meat-based keto or was it just the
Um,
general keto with a lot of
at,
fat bombs?
After the first 2 months, it became very heavily meat based, very heavily, because I was trying to get 1 to 1.5 grams of my body weight of protein. So I really started doubling up, but it was leaner chunks of meat like chicken. Um, it was really lean ground beef, um, not like I eat today. But uh, that made me lose significant amount of weight, though. I mean, I got down to 170 pounds, and um, and then eventually found carnivore and started dabbling into that and listening to the ShawnBaker and listening to some of the other YouTubers and reading some books. Learned that the carnivore way of life is probably my best bet, as far as health goes for a long term.
So
And
you started to like sort of drop some of the plants that you're eating on keto?
yeah, yeah. So the really the only thing I ate as far as plants goes was cauliflower. I ate a lot of cauliflower, and I ate a lot of just lettuce, because we made a lot of salads, because I could manipulate my fat intake through salads by using more dressing, or sunflower seeds or different cheeses. So I liked eating salads at that time because I could manipulate my fat intake a lot easier.
Yeah. So you had this significant progress with weight loss with keto. And
Yeah.
did you have other symptoms, medical symptoms?
Yeah, I had high blood pressure. It was like usually right around 150 over 90. I had gas and bloating. I had very bad indigestion. I used to wake up in the middle of the night with indigestion, and heartburn. I had exercise-induced asthma, so it's hard for me to exercise because my lungs would start to fill up with fluid. Um,
Wait,
I
tell me how that works. How does that work?
As I would exercise, I would start. It'd be really hard for me to breathe, and it would just be like a normal. Um, it'd be a normal asthma attack, and I normally had to take an inhaler before I would do any type of exercising, like usually about 30 minutes before, because I would leave my airways open.
Mm.
Um, so I had that. I had headaches probably 3 or 4 times a week, knee pain. Uh, I was
This was before keto, or this was after you lost weight with keto?
this was before. You know, a lot of it a lot of it dropped off during my journey, and I
Mhm.
didn't even really realize it was dropping off. It's like all of a sudden it was just gone. I was just like, oh my gosh. Um, I snored really bad, and I had sleep apnea, so I had very poor sleeping, and that led me to be always tired and always had a foggy mind. Um, and then I was a carb addict, to be honest. I every night Oreos or ice cream or something sweet, and
Mhm. So you're on keto now for some months, and
hmm
you're losing weight, you're feeling fat adapted, and then you're slowly eating more and more meats. And then when did you make that switch to like zero carb?
I made the switch in June of this year, right around I think May or June. Um, I made the switch primarily because with keto, I found ways to make some of those sugary foods without it being sugary, like the cheesecake. And so I found myself eating a piece of like a little itty bitty piece of cheesecake every night around 8 o'clock, and then it got to two cheesecakes. And then I was like, okay, I got to do something about this because I'm obviously um, going in that direction. So that's when I decided to just cut out all the sugars or all the keto stuff and just went straight carnivore.
And what was that like to make that switch?
So going carnivore really wasn't that hard at that time. I think it's because like I said, I was only eating like 10 to 15 carbs a day anyways. Uh, but uh, but when I started to switch over after a couple weeks, what I really found out is I had complete control over my appetite,
Mm.
and I instead of living to eat, I was eating to live, and now I only eat for the sole purpose of changing my body composition and for fuel, and it doesn't
It's
even matter.
amazing. That difference is amazing, isn't it?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. When I see the results, that pushes me more and more to keep after it. And I mean, I wake up every morning excited because I know it's a new day, and I'm going to progress towards my personal goals. And it's been great. It's been a motivation booster for myself, a confidence booster. Uh, Carnivore is a major thing, and that's why I'm here because I want to shout it from the rooftops, and I want everybody to know about it.
Yeah, it's great. It sounds like it's been great for you. You get to see the results in your own body, so you
Mhm.
can't mistake them.
Yeah, and it's like, you look at yourself and you don't even recognize yourself, and through your journey, a lot of the times you think it's so far out there. So you'll get online and you'll look up other people that are similar heights and similar weights that you are at, and see what weight do I need to get at, and now today, I'm one of those people. So I'm one of those people that was successful at it. So now I want to be that person that's on social media that inspires people to keep at it because it's possible.
Yeah.
And it's even more possible with carnivore because you learn to control your appetite and you don't eat with emotion.
It's amazing. Isn't it? You can like, if it's not convenient or if you're driving if you're on the road, it's like, it's no big deal. You can just like wait till you get to
Yep.
the place where you can eat, and it's not a big deal.
Yep.
Yeah. Do you see, and not to compare oneself with others, but do you see like with your peers, with your friends that you've known for a long time, that you knew when you were in a different kind of body? Um, what that is like, what that's like in how you see you in your group, of how much stronger you are, or more focused or more present.
I find myself more confident for sure.
Mm.
Um, More confident, maybe um, more there in
Yeah.
a certain sense. A lot of times when you get together with people, family gatherings or whatever, everything's always based around what you're eating for the event.
We're drinking.
It's always like that, or drinking. Yep. And since I don't do that, I have more time to have conversations and be there in the moment, other than being there worried about eating.
Yeah, how have they, what kind of feedback have you gotten from your friends and family? They're people that are
Uh,
close to you.
well, a lot of them don't understand it, and of course they have their negative views about it. Saying you're going to have high cholesterol and all that stuff, and um, to me, the proof, I'm walking proof that it works. So I feel way better. Losing 80 pounds is going to be healthier for me in the long run, for sure. And that's another driver is I want to prove to them that this is the diet that everyone should be on.
That they can help themselves with.
That's right.
So what do you eat now?
So now my favorite thing in the whole world is ribeye. It, and
Yeah.
I like it because it's got the right fat content, so I
Yeah.
don't have to worry about that. I don't have to worry about going like extremely overload on protein. And then I like brisket because I can smoke a brisket for 8 to 10 hours one day, and I can eat on it for several days. And then I always throw in some eggs, bacon, Kerrygold butter. Um,
The
those
base,
are like the go-tos.
yeah, the basics.
Yep. Yeah,
And
but since I'm never craving for anything, I can have those basics like daily and it doesn't bother me at all.
yeah,
The only thing that might bother me is the ribeye price.
yeah, yeah. So you probably use ground beef too sometimes.
I do. 80/20 usually.
Yeah, good deal. And do you have family around? Are you?
I do. I have a wife and two kids. I have a 14-year-old and a 9-year-old. My wife, she's pretty much carnivore too, 90%, 10%. She tried to do the carnivore thing. She just decided that she needed some things in her life that she couldn't quite give up. So she does 90/10, and she
That,
too has lost 80. I think she's lost 85 pounds. So she's lost more than I have.
that's great. 90/10.
Yep,
I
yep.
mean,
And my son's going right down the same path as us. He's switching his diet up, and he's lost 10 pounds now, and he's more keto, but he's transitioning over to a lot healthier diet. So I'm
this
very
is
proud.
your 14-year-old son?
Yep,
Yeah.
yep. My 9-year-old's a little harder to get to understand, but she's starting to ask questions now, and starting to ask questions. They know what carbs are, what fat grams are, and protein, and that's important because I didn't have those things growing up. I didn't know that knowledge.
Right. How's your family life changed, or has it changed?
Um, It's changed just because we're more active. So we're not always sitting on the couch. We're not always falling asleep on there. We're more active. We play more games. We seem to be more of a close knit family over it.
Oh, nice, nice. And how is it like for you emotionally? Have you seen changes for yourself emotionally, besides the
Uh,
obvious happiness about losing that much
yeah,
weight?
yeah. So what I've noticed is I used to get upset sometimes easily, or I had a really bad anxiety. What I've noticed, and it took me a long time to realize that some of that stuff was gone. Um, but what I noticed is I have pretty much an even kill attitude all day long. So I don't really get too riled up, and for the most part, I'm pretty happy. I'm a pretty happy person, and some of that has to do with my confidence level and me being proud of who I am now. And uh, some of that might be the diets and the hormone changes.
And just feeling good. It's just so great to feel good.
Mm-hmm. It does.
Yeah, maybe that carnivore zen that you keep, people talk about.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's most likely what it is. But when you're when you're out on the outside looking in, you tend to think, oh, that's some cult or something.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
once you do it, it's not a cult. This is real life.
Yeah, it's a cult of feeling good.
Yeah.
Feeling
Yeah.
good and it working out for you. That
Yep.
sounds great. I'm really happy that your whole family is getting that benefit together.
So am I. I'm excited.
And so you're a MeatRx coach now. What's that like for you?
Yep. So I haven't been a MeatRx coach for very long. I've only been it's a week today.
Mhm.
Uh, but it's been fun. I've been getting on some of the meetings, and I've been talking to some other people, learning a lot still. So that's one of the great things about it is you're always learning. There's so much to the human body that uh, we don't know yet, and individually we don't know. So uh, we're constantly learning, and we have a bunch of people on MeatRx where we can learn from each other.
Yeah, it's really helpful that way. So, what are some of the things that you would tell someone who was just considering going on a carnivore diet?
I would tell them to do it, to take a leap of faith, to do it, to choose this diet overall because you get to eat till you're satiated. So, and then you get to eat when you're hungry. So that makes the diet to be successful long term.
Hmm. Yeah, you don't have to stay hungry. You don't ever have to get hangry.
Yeah, right.
I don't get hangry anymore. Yeah. Um, so you said you just started coaching for a week, so you probably, I'm not sure if you've had people call you up as a coach.
I have my first coaching session tomorrow.
Great. Yeah, that'll be good. And I'm
Mhm.
sure you're kind of talking to people and just in your own life about how you have lost all that weight and feel stronger. People probably ask you about it. I mean, it's hard to not talk about it when people
Yeah,
ask.
I get a lot of traction on social media at times on some of the carnivore websites and stuff. I post my before and after pictures because, like I said, I want to inspire people and motivate them. So they ask me a bunch of questions on how I got here. So then and I just sit there and answer them all day that way. So hopefully they, tomorrow morning they get up and try it.
Yeah, and it sounds like your transition was really kind of gradual and gentle.
Hmm.
And you noted that you used to have headaches all the time. And
Yep.
now you don't have headaches. So I would think that headaches probably impede you from doing things before.
Yeah, I mean the headache. It definitely it had me go to bed. I had to go to bed earlier because it would be so bad at night. Um, they would stop me from going out with my friends at times. It wasn't fun at all. But headaches is another one of those things that I didn't even realize I didn't have a headache
Yeah.
for like 2 months, and I was like, oh my gosh, I haven't had a headache.
Yeah, that's great. So do you drink coffee?
I do drink coffee. That's the one thing I have not quite put out of my diet yet, and I think it's because I fast. I do some fasting, so I'm not sure if I could. I mean, I'm sure I could. Anybody can do anything, but I'm not quite ready to let it go yet.
Yeah, what kind of fasting do you do?
Right now I do OMAD, so I do intermediate fasting, and then one day a week, 1 or 2 days a week, I do a 48-hour fast. I haven't went much further than that um,
So
because
every week you do a 40 hour fast.
I usually do not eat Mondays.
Uh-huh. And when did you start doing the fasting?
I started really hard doing the fasting in August.
Hmm. So you waited till you were really fat adapted before.
Yeah, that was a slower process too because at first I did intermediate fasting, so I'd have an eating window from like 1 to 8, and then I made it 3 to 8, 5 to 8, and then OMAD, and then I did an OMAD for a while. Then I said, you know what, I'm gonna try to go 4 to 8 hours.
So what benefits have you found with that?
Um, as far as I feel great. I feel really good on once I get to that second day without eating. I probably could go 72 hours, I'm sure, and I don't know how I would feel, but the benefits I found is it resets my body for the week. I feel like.
And then when you break the fast, with dinner maybe, is that dinner? Um, how do you break it? Is there a certain way that you break your fast?
Um, not really. I'll just eat my meal.
Yeah.
I know some people have bone broth and stuff to try to ease into it, but I haven't really had any problems with any digestive issues from breaking a fast. So I tend to just eat what I normally eat. I don't eat any carbs, so it's not like I have to worry about fat and carbs going in together and causing a problem. So I just eat my normal meal.
So you just eat a nice big meal that you would normally eat to satisfy yourself, and then the next day you just start your regular intermittent fasting.
Yep.
Yeah, great. And then do you find that you get a little that that when it's time to have it, that you get sort of anticipation about having another fast?
You mean when I get ready to have my meal?
No, after you've like you've had to fast, and then you're eating your regular window for a few days, and then do you start getting excited about going into another 40-hour fast or 50-hour fast?
I do, and it's those days when you look up to it, you're like, oh, my 40-hour fast is coming up, and at first they were kind of hard, but now they're really simple. So, and when I wake up knowing that I'm not eating for the day, it gives you more time too because you don't have to cook, you don't have to eat. Um, so yeah, I mean, I would say I anticipate it uh, quite a lot because some weeks I do two of them.
Right, you said that. So it would just be a few days between.
Yep.
And then when you do that, will you have coffee that morning?
Yes, when I do that, I usually have two cups of coffee. I usually have a cup of coffee in the morning and then a cup of coffee probably about the time I would normally have dinner.
Oh, in the afternoon.
Yep, about 4 or 5 o'clock.
Okay, is that black coffee?
Yep, yep. I only do black coffee. I always did black coffee. I never really liked anything, so that makes it easier for me, I guess.
That's easier. And then do you take salt during those fasting days? Do you have salt?
I put salt in my water. So what I'll do is all the water, I'll just throw a little bit of salt in there to make sure my electrolytes stay up.
And do you make any other electrolyte solution for you, or just pretty much salt, good salt?
I do not. I just do salt.
Is that Redmond's real salt?
I do Himalayan right
Himalayan
now.
salt. Okay.
I will
So
get Redmond, so that's next on my list. I just have to get through all this Himalayan salt first.
yeah, yeah, it's tasty, Redmond's. So you just have salt, you drink salt, you just keep your electrolytes up and drinking salt through the day. And then you feel good, you break the fast, it feels good. And have you felt any kind of autophagy benefits, or do you have a distinct sense of improvement with fasting for you?
Um, I don't know about the autophagy. That's the reason why I'm doing the fasting. To be honest, I want to tighten up some skin.
Mhm.
So that's the reasons what's pushed me to do the fasting for the extended fasting. I do become more self-aware.
More self-aware.
So
So
that's been good.
that's been good.
More self-aware, excuse me?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
come
I come
self-aware
aware
of my
of my
surroundings.
surroundings.
Oh,
Explain.
during the
Explain.
fasting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. Great. Would you recommend fasting for people?
I would highly
I would
recommend.
highly recommend.
You would recommend it. Great. Yeah, I like how regular it is for you. That's nice. So did you have any kind of problems with adjusting to the diet?
With keto or with
With
the
carnivore?
the only thing that I really had was I had some loose stools. Um, that's basically it. And it lasted for 3 weeks, I think. They weren't irregular, so they actually they weren't that often. So it's not like I was constantly in the bathroom or anything.
And
They're
that
just,
was with the transition from keto to carnivore, or just on
yep,
keto?
from keto to carnivore. Yep. I probably from not having fiber anymore.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Because
Well,
on keto you eat massive amounts of fiber.
I remember those big mountains of greens.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It sounds like you've had a really pretty smooth journey with it. So that's awesome to hear.
Yeah, this time it's been very successful.
Nice. Well, I'm glad you're in the carniverse with me.
Me too. Hopefully we can get everyone else on there too.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing your story there. And I'm sure you're going to help a lot of people. And they can find you at MeetRx and they can book a session with you. And are you on Instagram too?
Yes, I am.
What's your Instagram handle?
Carnivore Orlando.
Carnivore Orlando. Are you
Yep.
nice? Are you in Orlando?
Nope. Nope. My nickname's Lando.
Right, of course, it's your name.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Lando. I'll find you on Instagram, and hopefully, I'll see you in the real world.
Yep.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you.